Lesson 5.5, using congruent triangles. We have two triangles, we prove them congruent. What can we do with them? Well, we can do something called CPCTC. CPCTC stands for congruent parts of congruent, corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. What does it mean? It means that if I've proven two triangles congruent, then all the parts match up. Once I prove that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF, then I know angle A is congruent to angle D, angle B is congruent to angle E, angle C is congruent to angle F, AB is congruent to DE, AC is congruent to DF, and BC is congruent to EF. Now, to prove that the two triangles are congruent, I needed three of those pieces already. Side angle side, side side side, that sort of thing. But now that I've got it, I know all six. This is a simplistic concept, but a lot of people struggle with it. Best to learn by example. Angle A is congruent to angle D. Angle B is congruent to angle E. AB is congruent to DE. How do we prove that these two are congruent? Because we don't know this right now. So what we do is we say, well, I can prove that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF by angle side angle. And now that I know that they're congruent, I know all the parts match up. I needed three to prove that all the parts match up, and now I do know all the parts match up. So then I can say BC is congruent to EF by CPCTC, which just says you prove the triangle's congruent, therefore I can take any pieces off. So it's one of the last things we do with proofs. And the way I look at it is first prove some triangles congruent, then the next step will always be CPCTC, prove other parts of the triangle congruent. So once you see one of these 5 ways of proving, the next step will say CPCTC. I've proven 2 triangles congruent. Now I'm going to pull pieces off. An example. Looks familiar. Angle A is congruent to angle D. Angle B is congruent to angle E. AB is congruent to DE. So we write all that down. Angle A congruent to angle D. Angle B congruent to angle E. AB congruent to DE. Why? Well, that's what you gave me. That's the given. Now I have enough information here to jump right to the prove that the 2 triangles are congruent. So I'm not sure what step 2 is doing there. So we say triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF by angle side angle. And again, what did we want to prove goes in our last step. And what's going to be next? We should know. I've just proven 2 triangles congruent. The next step will be CPCTC. And it will be what I was trying to prove. BC is congruent to EF. That is it. Prove 2 triangles congruent. Then say CPCTC to pull parts of those triangles off that you did not use to prove them. Try some problems. Well, one more thing, my mistake. A lot of times we have triangles that overlap and people have trouble seeing them. So which two triangles look congruent here? You can't tell. You have to bust them out. A little bit of artwork here. And make sure you label them. So this is the triangle HGJ. This is the triangle KGI. Right now we can't say they're congruent because I don't have enough information, but we do know that one piece from each one is congruent, and we know that angle G is congruent to angle G. It's reflexive. So this is very tricky. We'll give you lots of practice with pulling triangles apart and seeing if you can put them back together. That's it. Good luck.